So it looks like Tony's on his Hunter. Ooh, we got some KFC action coming on, going up against the TSG. They didn't want to cleave it up. I mean, this still is a cleave, but they didn't want to double melee versus double melee with the enhancement against the Warrior DK.
Yeah, and Tony is going to be playing that Beastmaster spec, so he's not going to be playing Survival. Not going to have quite as much CC onto this TSG.
Not as much CC, but I don't know, a lot more physical damage versus magic. But maybe magic damage might not be too bad against a Warrior, but I don't know. BM, I do feel like it is the superior spec in most situations, but
we saw it. I mean, once again, we saw it in EU last week. A lot of those hunters do play survival just because they have so much CC, especially if they're doing a strategy like training down the healer. They were just tunneling down Hotgodtko TKO. He would have so much CC with those 12-second traps against Trant and Feroh. We're gonna have to see how they play it though, as the gates are opening. Supatease immediately just gonna hide in that stealth. He knows he's probably the target of choice. He's sitting behind himself, pre-hotting himself up. Going to run out now that Tony Jr. is caught into that full asphyxiate by this TSG. Get some hots out onto him. And it looks like this TSG, I mean, they're trying to get some CC onto Hotgodtko right now. Tony trying to get that Wyvern Sting out onto him, casting it over and over. But now the full fear going to come out from Lossa on Hotgodtko. Lossa blowing that Avatar and that Recklessness right away and really not able to accomplish too much in this opener.
Yeah, so much cooldowns using a Trant, and he's finally taking a bit of damage now. He's dipping down to 50% here at this point, but Hotgodtko is going to come out. He's going to Nature Swiftness him, and Trent's going to be okay, but that stolen Cyclone going back out onto Supatease. They're swapping over to him now. That's the Asphyxiate. He's going to use Barkskin, but is it going to be enough? This is Breath and Recklessness coming up for Supatease. Supatease walking away now. Got that Nature Swiftness off. He's going to top himself up with it, displacing away at this point, but that was a decent trade for this TSG swapping on onto him. They're going back over onto Lossa at this point as Supatease slips out of their grasp, and it looks like this TSG is going to be looking to make those swaps onto Supatease. Tony now taking a bit of the damage from this TSG at this point, but they're continuing to go onto Trant, the DK. Now, I feel like DKs passively tank a lot of this damage, so they're not going to be like whittling through any of the defensive cooldowns by any means, but there's the BM Crows going out into Trant, the Wyvern String on the Hotgodtko. Trant still has that Iron Bark up on him, but he is at 50% health here in Blood Presence as well, so he's taking a lot, he has a lot of damage reduction up right now.
Yeah, this is a matchup I've kind of played a lot, and as the TSG, you really don't have any target. You have to go on Supatease, but it's really hard with how mobile druids are. Being a Death Knight who just has to sit and blood press, has a warrior on your back the entire game. He grips in Supatease, but if Supatease lives this, he's just going to displace away and be completely fine, and they really aren't able to accomplish too much besides get his Barskin. Does get feared up though, and they still have some pressure on the Supatease, but if he does have Displace up, he could just get away, and once again, Trant is caught in a position where he's just this really immobile DK, trying to get out as much damage as possible, but they're just going to train him down, and the longer the game goes, it's going to be harder and harder for Hotgodtko to keep him up.
Yeah, Trant sitting in that Blood Presence. If they were going on to Feroh, though, Feroh would be getting a lot of rage in defensive stance. That was the DR Wyvern String going on to Hotgodtko. Trant now dipping down to 50%, 30% at this point as well. Tony, though, taking a bit of damage. Ironbark going on to Tony, but that was the BM Crows once again on to Trant. He's dipping lower and lower. Hotgodtko, he's having a lot of problems keeping Trent up. He dips down to 13% health there. That was almost execute, or was execute range, but he didn't get it off. AMS even coming out at this point. Hotgodtko, he's falling further and further behind. Supatease going in there, getting that bash off. The full trap lands. Trent's in a lot of trouble here. Can Lossa end it right here? Tony in that Stormbolt. Supatease trinketing offensively, getting that full Cyclone off. Rallying Cry coming out, but Trent still somehow alive through all of these executes. And there's the double shockwave going on to Hotgodtko and Trent. The Nature Swiftness coming out, but he's still dead. 2%, and he goes down. Tony from the Bronx is going to take the very first round of this best of 3 convincingly. All right, there it is. So yeah, this TSG, or this Tony from the Bronx, I feel like made the right decision by going on the KFC instead of the Turbo. I feel. Yeah,
they just have no target. They have to somehow miraculously kill Supatease, and it's hard to like the Hunter sacrifice to make it so he takes less damage. And really, the DK can't chase him down. You're just gonna grip Supatease in and get shockwaved. And then as soon as he displaces away, the DK can never reconnect. So they have to kill him in like one grip asphyxiate. And if they don't really have anything going for them.
That's the advantage, man, of playing playing multiple compositions. You're gonna see games like this coming out from Tony from the Bronx, is they have those options to really counter other teams if possible. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and ask Chase and Waterfalls what map they want next. This match was rigged? No, it was not. It was not rigged. Supatease is a great healer.
It's rigged how?
Uh-oh. Looks like, oh, and he's back on. It's rigged now. Uh-oh, is that because I said something? I don't know. Maybe TSG could bring it to like Ruins of Lordaeron, just all in Supatease. Maybe bring this series back 1-to-1. I'm not sure what they're gonna go. I'm asking them which map they want next. Oh, next map he wants is gonna be Ruins of Lordaeron. So I think they don't want Supatease to be able to squirm as they grip him. Here we go. Wargame request has been sent, and we're gonna jump right into this next series, guys. Ruins of Lordaeron.
Perfect.
Oh, we have a composition change.
Ooh. This is the second time we're going to see Feroh's in this tournament. Now he's finally on the right team.
Yeah.
But this is going to be really hard for Supatease to live. This is a nightmare to live against as a druid.
We were just talking about how like having multiple compositions gives you the advantage. This TSG was up against the wall against this KFC, but now they turned it around with this rogue. This is going to be scary in a map like Ruins of Lordaeron for Supatease. Here we go. 16 seconds till these gates open.
I'll have to see. I mean, I suspect with the map choice and the comp choice that they're just going to get on Supatease and train him down till he's dead. And every stun is going to be really scary for him. I suspect that Trant will use his Breath of Cindergosa right away. They'll use a Adrenaline Rush. They'll use everything really on Supatease. And he's going to have to use his Trinket and Barkskin to survive unless he somehow gets miraculous peels. And then that becomes really scary because after you've used those, the red buff killing spree comes up from Feroh's. So just a lot of upfront pressure from this comp.
Yeah, looks like the KFC is hopping on to Trent the DK once again. But Supatease comes out, a stealth, and Feroh jumps right on him with that Garrote. Supatease staying in bear form, the full kidney goes out, and this is breath and everything. Lots of buttons being used. Supatease in that Barkskin in bear form. He's not taking any chances. He's going to Trinket, Nature Swiftness, and Iron Bark. He's not letting these guys kill him in this all-in. He's trying to get away from these double melee desperately. Royal Sacrifice going to fade. Iron Bark and Barkskin now fading. But that was an efficient trade for Supatease, I think. I think that he's going to be able to afford to do that every time. Tony now looks like he's taking a bit of damage from this DK rogue team as well. But it looks like Trent is going to be the kill target of choice from this KFC once again.
Yeah, Supatease once again getting reconnected to, and this is a scary situation. He doesn't have his Barkskin for another 24 seconds. He's going to try to camp bear form as long as possible. Feroh's getting Shockwave, though, down to 6% and gets executed. Just gets smoked. All three of them using their Trinket in the opener and just gets caught in a stun and explodes while trying to go on Supatease, who's just sitting in bear, not really in any danger.
Unbelievable, man. That was insane. Keep an eye on this rogue's health, guys. I mean, I was targeting Lossa when he did that. I mean, you'll see Recklessness comes out and he just deletes this rogue. Lossa coming out of that bash, he's going to Trinket, and right here, he gets offensive. Recklessness Avatar, Shockwave on the Ferohs, and just chunks him to execute range, and that's going to do it. 2-0 for Tony from the Bronx.
Hello.
Hey.
Can I ask you a question about rules?
Yeah, what's up?
When you message me that they're playing that, are we allowed to leave and message you that we're changing?
No, because like, so for example, if